Hey, what's going on, fellow agents? The Division beta has been out for Xbox One for the past few days, and it's out for PC and PlayStation 4 now, so a lot of people are playing it. A lot of people have opinions about it. And basically, I just wanted to break down a few things about what I'm enjoying about the beta, and then some thoughts. They're not bad things about the beta, and they're not bad things about the game, because the full game isn't released yet, so we can't make any assumptions or any judgments besides what we know now. So just basically not bad things, but just some things that I'm thinking about when the upcoming release is happening in early March. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos that are breaking down more detail about the game and the beta that I've experienced thus far this week. So I'm looking at videos like breaking down the UIs, the customizations that you can do, like modding skills, your appearance, and such. The gunplay, so being third person, the different types of guns available, the missions and how they're structured, side quests, stuff to do in the city while you're just running around, and then also the PvP environment, the Dark Zone. So those are all videos that I have planned ahead that I'm going to be covering throughout this coming week and the weeks before release. But if there's also another question that you have that you want me to make a video, just let me know and I'll do that for you. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to talk about some of the good things that I really am enjoying throughout the beta so far. And the first thing I want to talk about is how beautiful this game is. Like I said, I'm playing it on Xbox One. I'm not playing it on my PC, so I'm not getting the full graphical experience that people can experience with a really high-end PC. But even with the Xbox, this game is fantastic. I just love walking around in the city in New York. It feels like it's one-to-one Midtown, like what they're saying. The map is truncated for what we can experience in the beta, but I feel like I'm in New York City. You can't go in every single building, but it still feels massive and immersive, and like it can go a lot of places, whether it's DLC or free expansions or whatever. I feel like they can really expand this game even further than what we haven't even experienced yet, which is all of Midtown. The weather mechanics are beautiful. It might be just because I'm seeing it for the first time in this game, but every time something different changes inside of the weather mechanics in the engine, they wow me. The first time I was in the darkness zone, it was dark, it was foggy. It was the first time I'd been in there, so I didn't really even know what I was doing, and I could only see about 10 meters in front of me, and it was terrifying, and it was a great experience. And yesterday I was playing, and there was a part in a side quest I was doing where it just started snowing, and it was accumulating on my character's jacket and the top of my hat. And I don't know, that was just like something that I just stopped, and I was standing on top of a rooftop, and I was just looking at the city, watching the snowfall, and it was gorgeous. So that's the first thing that anyone notices when they start playing the game, but that's the first thing I want to talk about. Customization in this game, it's a good touch. Part of the reason why I play games like The Division or Destiny is for the loot and the progression, so that feeling of moving forward. In the game so far that we've seen, and we haven't even experienced all of it, a lot of the stuff in this game is locked out of the beta, but there's a lot of very good level and deep level of customization, whether it's customizing your own skills, so you have the skills that you can use, but even that you can mod those skills to have different attributes. So there's a scanning skill, and you just scan the area, but you can mod that to cover yourself from other people's scans or do more damage against enemies that you've scanned, stuff like that. You can mod your own gun, so different sights, different silencers, different even color paints, skins is what they're called in the game, and then you can mod your own appearance, so like getting all the hats in the game. Like they have a very cool amount of jackets, hats, jeans, shirts, sneakers. Like those don't affect your stats, but it's just something cool to make yourself unique. And like we just had basic customization in terms of our actual character creation. So when you create your character, you could choose between a female or a male character type, and then you had to do a randomization. But you saw they were locked in the beta, but you saw the different things that you could do to customize your character. So people are going to be looking unique in structure, but also in appearance, whether it's clothing or your weapons, everything like that. It's all customizable, which is great. Third person, for me, it's a different but nice change. I usually play first person shooters, but this is very nice feeling of like Gears of War. And it reminds me of Gears of War a lot. You're moving from cover to cover to take advantage in a fight. But the AI in this game that I've seen, especially when you're playing missions on hard mode, they do rush a lot. And they can put you in a corner if you're not careful, and you can actually become in a very disadvantaged situation, even though you can see a lot because you're in third person. So it's an interesting change of pace for me. The loading integration in the game, there are no actual loading screens unless you're fast traveling or getting into the game. But there are times when you know you're loading into an instance, but it doesn't feel like you are. Like when you go from your HQ, which is your own closed instance, out into the open world, you're walking very very slowly in this one period, in this one area, and you know you're loading into that instance, but you're actually I don't know, you're a part of the loading, I guess. So it feels seamless. It's not like you're just on a loading screen watching a percent go from 0 to 100. You are that way when you're fast traveling around the city, but that's a different case. I'm talking about just leaving a room. You're not going to be in a loading screen, which is very nice. Another thing about the loading integration is the party up with friends. They're just there when they party up with you. It's not like they have to. For example, with Destiny, if you are in a patrol on Earth and you want to party up with somebody, you have to go to orbit, loading screen, come back to Earth, loading screen, and then you're in their party. With this, you just click the person, join them, and then you're there. Your instance is loaded into their instance, and they just show up on your screen, and you're good to go. Same with the Dark Zone. My friends and I went into the Dark Zone at the same time. We were loaded into separate instances, and then they could just join on me, and then they were there, and nothing changed. They just were there, and I think that's fantastic. No loading screens. I'm all for it. Darkness Zone. It's a whole lot of fun. I'm having a good amount of time with it. I'm going to make a video on its own talking about its own perks and its own way of playstyle, but it's not a full rage kill mode that I thought it would be. I was kind of nervous going into the Dark Zone. It's a PvP environment for the game, and you can actually there's some honor in it, I guess you can say. You can team up with anyone you want. You can go in as a group as well. That's much more of an advantage. But I went a few times solo, and I ran into a group. I raised my hand saying I wasn't a threat. They did some jumping jacks, so telling me they were cool, and I just ran next to them, no issue. And we ran into some rogues that were firing at us, and we all took them down at the same time. And they could have easily killed me being solo, and they didn't. And I thought that was a pretty interesting experience. I did not expect going into this Darkness Zone. The missions so far, I'm having fun. They feel like a strike in Destiny. There's multiple zones and objectives that finish the mission, leading up to a boss fight. And the loot is fairly dynamic. You can do the mission over and over again, get different loot each time. And there are also matchmaking for the missions and difficulty settings. And speaking of matchmaking really quick, I saw that there's matchmaking for the Darkness Zone and just roaming around the city. So if you don't have people that are buying this game with you, or your friends aren't on at the time, and you want to do something that's a high level difficulty, you could do that. You can just go ahead and partner up with somebody and take care of that. Quickly going over some of the worrisome things I'm seeing with the game. The grind and repetition. I'm not afraid of the grind. As you know, I play a lot of Destiny, so grind is part of the Destiny. It's going to be part of this game. The only thing that Destiny does well about it is the leveling system. You have your maximum level, but then you have a light level, and that's what you're trying to achieve past that max level. And I don't know what the Division is going to have that's similar. I'm worried that once you get to your max PvE level, then where to go from there. So I think they're going to need some type of raid type PvE environment to keep me going and to keep me playing this game past the missions and past the max level. Going rogue in the Dark Zone is kind of an issue, and I'll talk about it in my Dark Zone video. But right now, when you're rogue, your timer to stop being rogue, you have a timer counting down, and it resets every time you hit someone with a bullet. And at one point, when you're rogue, you're really just defending yourself against people hunting you, and it's like you can't win. And maybe that's the point of going rogue, but there needs to be some kind of balance if you're trying to put up a last stand against multiple agents trying to kill you. Third person, I put that as a positive. I'm also going to put it as a worrisome because it is good right now, but I'm also worried it might get old for me because I'm used to playing first-person shooters. Only time can tell this. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the amount of content. It kind of goes back to the grind and repetition, but I can't really tell for certain how the full game is going to be. We only were able to play one mission in the beta, and I'm hoping the PvE experience expands past a few hours of missions and side quests, and then all there would be left is the Darkness Zone. I hope that they have, going back to it, some kind of raid mechanics. But anyways, guys, I know this is a longer video than normal, but I wanted to just break down my initial thoughts of the beta, what I'm seeing about the game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm keeping my pre-order. I'm going to be playing this game, and I'm hoping to bring a lot of content to this channel. So let me know if you're interested in seeing that, and I'll be working on breaking down specific things about the beta that I'm seeing in longer, in their own respective videos. So let me know if there's something specific you want to see. Anyways, hope this video was helpful for you. If you haven't been able to play the beta, if you are playing, please share your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think so far, and if you're going to continue playing when the game is released in March. I hope your day is beer and Skittles, and as always, thanks for tuning in.